everyone. Today I am going to demo how you can benefit from using the summary functionality within a sheet in Smartsheet. I'm then going to show you the difference between building a sheet summary report and a row report and when you may want to use the different types. I'm Kandis Porter, the CEO of Effective Flow Connections, and we work with a lot of organizations on custom Smartsheet builds and even establishing project management offices. So if you'd love to learn more, feel free to reach out. Let's dive right in. As you'll see on my screen here, we have created a very simple sheet which is intended to track vacation for our organization in the year 2026. We have a form built on top of this where employees can go out and submit their request, and it feeds directly into this sheet. I'm not going to demo the form today, but we certainly have other videos if you want to learn how to build a form. The main things that you'll see here, the person's name requesting the vacation start date, the vacation end date, and then we have a formula here that automatically is calculating the number of calendar days from the start date to the end date of vacation, and then any comments that the requester would like to add. We just have it defaulting to vacation right now. So this would be the information that would be submitted in the form by the employee, and then whoever is administering the actual leave program can go in and look at the request, can let them know if it's approved or not, and any comments that they'd like to share. Now, this formula for the number of calendar days is a pretty simple one where it is just subtracting vacation end date and vacation start date. So the vacation end date minus the vacation start date is the number of calendar days that is showing up in this formula. If you've never locked a column into a formula, then you can do that by right-clicking, and you can convert back and forth from a cell formula to a formula column or vice versa. You will know if a formula column is locked because it has this little FX on there. So if you see an FX where it's locked, it means all of that formula is going to apply to this column always. So you can't accidentally type over it and add anything. It's completely locked as far as a formula. So if you always want a column to be a formula, you can write your formula in one cell, and again, you'll want to right click on it and you can convert the entire column to a formula column. Highly recommended when you're working with formulas. Rather than adding additional formulas to the sheet itself, because we do expect there to be more and more and more submissions over the year 2026, we can use something called summary. If you look over here on the right-hand side where you have a menu bar, the summary is going to be the one that looks like a piece of paper, and when you hover over it, again, it's going to be summary. For me, it's the third option from the bottom. If you click on summary, this allows you to add custom formulas where it's always pulling in information from the sheet and doing the calculations for you. Again, especially when you have a form that is built on top of a sheet to gather information from employees or even from clients. It's better to build the formulas where you're wanting to summarize or count numbers, because otherwise, as additional rows get added, there's a good chance that your formulas are going to get messed up if you just have them randomly within your sheet. So what I've done here is created a formula that is going to summarize the vacation for Kandis, the vacation for Amanda, the vacation for Maya, and I'll show you how we can create a new one because we've had another employee that's joined, and we'll go ahead and walk through getting their information in the sheet and then showing you how to just copy the formula into the summary. If I click here, I want to show you the formula. The formula that I have to do this, and you can see that the columns light up based on where it's pulling the information from. So I have a SUMIF formula, so equals SUMIF, and the name, so if you put the name of the column and then a colon and the name of the column again, it's always going to focus on just that one column. You then want to make sure that you're putting in the very specific identifier that you're looking for. In this case, I want to calculate Kandis's vacation. So I'm putting Kandis's first name. And then I want it to really look at the number of calendar days, again, colon, number of calendar days. And that means that it's going to be summarizing from here. So SUMIF, which means sum one of these cells, if in the name column it has Kandis's name. So that's the formula here, and you can see it's coming up with 7. And at quick glance, we've got 4 days here for Kandis on row 6 and 3 days on row 1 for Kandis. So it's adding it up correctly, 7 days. For Amanda, it's the exact same formula. However, we've replaced Kandis's name with Amanda's name in quotations. Same for Maya, and she's also got her name replaced there. Now let's say we get a new employee, and his name's John. And John has come in and requested vacation, and rather than enter it in the form, I'm just going to add it right here. He came and talked to his boss. He'd like to take 9 days of vacation. And then he already knows he has more vacation later in the year. So he's also going to request some vacation in June. Until July. It's a long vacation, 29 days. It sounds nice though. Okay, so we now have John's information in here. What we need to do is add another section in the sheet summary so that it's accounting for John's time. If you look down at the bottom here, it says new field, and that's clickable. And so I'm going to go ahead and put John vacation time. And I'm just setting it up as a text or a number. There's a lot of different things that you can do with the sheet summary, however. As you see, it gives you options. So if you want to pull in dates, symbols, contact list, there's a lot that you can do. I personally find the formulas to be the most valuable, and so that's what I often use. So I've added John vacation time as a text or a number. And I am just going to go above and copy this formula. And just a little tip on formulas. There's 2 things I highly recommend if you're working with Smartsheet formulas. There is a Smartsheet template set that gives you a lot of common formulas within Smartsheet. And so if you go to create and then search for formula, it will give you an off-the-shelf formula template set for Smartsheet. I have a video on that. The second thing, if you're using AI, you can really work very closely with ChatGPT. You can give it a snapshot of your sheet and say, here's the formula I'm trying to write. These are the names of my column headings, and it can help you write that. It can also help you troubleshoot that. So if you get frustrated with formulas in Smartsheet, definitely use AI. Definitely download the formula template set from Smartsheet. Okay, I have popped in that formula, and all that I need to do in this case is change Maya's name to John and click enter. And you'll see John now has 38 days on the books, and that's correct. It's summarizing rows 7 and 8 to get that number. I'm going to click Save now, and I'm going to show you what this looks like if we build a report on top of this. I'll show you the 2 different versions. One, the summary report. So if you've ever gone to create a report and not use that option, I'll show you what that looks like. And then 2, I'll show you the row report because you may prefer to use that to summarize this vacation information. I have gone back into my workspace here where my 2026 vacation tracker is. I'm going to click on Create and select Report. This is exactly where it asks, do I want a row report? Now, a row report is where you can pull in information from multiple sheets, and that's really going to roll the row information up. You could also select a row report because it does have some options to group like information, to summarize it, and so forth. I'll show you what that looks like momentarily. I'm going to start with the sheet summary report, however. So I've selected that. I'm going to name this 2026 vacation totals. Once you click on the Smartsheet summary report, it's going to open it up and it's going to ask you what Smartsheet assets you'd like to pull into it. It should list all of your workspaces and then all of the sheets within the workspace. If you have your Smartsheet assets organized by folders, you could look directly for that folder. I have mine saved in the YouTube projects workspace, and I'm going to scroll down to the vacation tracker folder. And I'm going to click just the folder because if I eventually add any additional sheets or anything in there, we could just pull from those. It will then ask me what fields I want to pull into the sheet summary report. I'd like to pull everyone's vacation days, so I'm going to select Amanda, John, Kandis, and Maya, and click Next. And I don't really have anything that I want to filter out, so I'm going to click Apply. And what you can see here is it has the source sheet under the sheet name, and then Amanda vacation days, John vacation days, Kandis vacation days, and Maya vacation days. If we had multiple vacation trackers for different teams, if this was the marketing team, for example, and technology had a different vacation tracker, as long as it's the same format, you could also pull in their sheet summary aspects of it as well, and it would add them along the top as additional columns. So you could kind of play with this and really think about how you want to design your reports. And if you wanted to display this on a dashboard, that's a really easy thing to do. So again, this is the sheet summary report, and it's pulling in those formulas from the summary functionality along the right-hand side of the actual sheet itself. So if I click into the sheet name, it takes me right back into the sheet. It's a quick link there. And the information here where it says summary is what's being pulled in. So again, that's all things sheet summary report. If I go back into the workspace, I'm going to create a new report. I want to show you the difference for the row report. So if I click Create and then select Report, and this one's going to be the row report. So vacation totals, and I'll just put row there so we can see the difference. When I click on vacation totals row, again, it's going to have me select the workspace and the assets that I want to use. I'm quickly scrolling down to the YouTube projects. I'm going to expand that and again, scroll down to my vacation tracker and select that. This is going to ask me which columns I want to add in. So again, the difference is last time it asked what I wanted to pull in from the sheet summary along that right-hand side where I had the formulas. This is going to show me all of the columns, and I can select what I'd like to pull in here. I'd like to go ahead and select the vacation end date, start date, the name of the person. I don't really care about the approved or approver comments for this version. I do want to know the number of calendar days and requester comments. From here, the filter criteria, again, I don't really want to filter anything out. I'm going to click Apply. And for primary column, just a heads up, we almost always hide that because when you pull it into a report, specifically a row report, it doesn't pull in the title of that column. And so that can be confusing. It always defaults to primary column, even if within your sheet it is called something else. So we always hide that. It's just part of Smartsheet functionality. You can disregard it. So now you could see everything's a little bit out of order here. So you could just drag and drop your columns. I'm going to put the name first, vacation start date, followed by vacation end date. It still has the number of calendar days being calculated and vacation. What I'd like to do though, I'd like to use this report to group by person and then to have it sum the number of calendar days. So at quick glance, we could see. So it's just a different way of doing it. If I click Save and I go up to Group, it's going to ask me what I want to group by. I want to group by the name column, and sort ascending's fine. You see now it's very easy to see, okay, Amanda has this vacation, John has 2 on the books, Kandis has 2 on the books, Maya has 2, and Manny has 1. What I can do then is summarize. So if I click that, it's going to ask what I want to do with what column. And so I want to go to the number of calendar days here, and I want them to sum. If I select count, it's going to just count how many entries there are. So for example, let's say Amanda has 1, John has 2, Kandis has 2. I actually want to sum the number of approved vacation days. So I'm going to click Sum and OK. And you can now see Amanda has a total of 11 days on the books for vacation. John has 38 days. Kandis has 7 days. And Maya has 24, and Manny has 3. So it's now grouped by person, and it's just quick glance, and it's above each person's grouping where it has that number. And then it also summarizes how many total vacation days are on the books for all employees. So you can see there's definitely differences in a row report and a sheet summary report. And it just depends on what your goals are with your Smartsheet build. So first and foremost, I think about all of the assets. If you want to display information on a dashboard, think through what those requirements are. And then you want to make sure that your sheets have data for what it is you want to display. You build out your sheets first, and then you layer your reports on that, either a row report or a summary report. And then if I wanted to take it a step further, I could build a dashboard where I display this information. I could build charts and other types of tables, and you could have pictures on there. It's really meant to be the visual way to just get what's most important first. So I'd just like to say thank you for joining me today. What we covered was the importance of a sheet summary within a sheet. At quick glance, you get key information. On top of that, you can then build a sheet summary report or a row report, depending on what is going to work best for your needs. Again, my name is Kandis Porter, and this YouTube channel focuses on all things project management. We talk about best practices, we introduce some tools, and we like to show you how you can build things yourself. If you haven't subscribed and you like this content, please do. And don't hesitate to ask a question or leave us a comment below. Have a great day.